Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome for the final time to the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League in 2025. Final regular season round, anyway, of Season 4 in 2025. We come to Imola for the last round, with a championship still on the line. Tony Jimenez with work still to do, although, as it stands, with Luca Varani and Noah Fowle not racing, does look like just a start for this race here tonight might be enough. We'll wait and see. We'll have a look at all the permutations in a moment. Myself and O'Leary taking you through in commentary of Jim Cunningham tonight from Imola in this last round of the championships. 32 drivers, at least in the session at the moment. 30 have qualified. It's a fairly busy racetrack out there at this relatively short track as well. And I think cars that suit this circuit quite well, Jim. I don't particularly like the faster cars around here, to be honest. It's a bit too narrow for them. But for these cars, just about perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I think, by the way, it's good to be here with you again. It's good to have you back on Sunday. I agree with you 100%. I've done a couple of races actually here this week. It seems to run in cycles like that. And I've done some GT cars here as well, and they're just big, and this course is just kind of tight for them, and like you said, the bigger like Formula One type cars, and it just it's kind of clunky and slow, and it's just kind of weird, but for this car, I think this is going to be a really good fit. They can pass here, and the suspension can handle the curbs here to a degree anyway. I think it's just going to be a good matchup.
Let's hope so. It's the last round of the season, so let's have a look at where we stand going into it in terms of championship points, because I'll tell you about the championship points. Tony Jimenez, with 2 drop weeks, is leading the way, but only by 6 points over Noah Fowle when you apply the drop weeks. But his second worst score, which is sort of the important one, means that anybody could gain 20, even if Jimenez finishes last, you could gain 20 points on him here today. So that means Noah Fowle 6 points back and Luca Varani 15 points back do have a chance, despite the fact that Varani hasn't finished higher than third and Noah Fowle hasn't won a race yet this season. They are both in with a chance. However, at the moment, I've just searched for them through the session. They're not here as it stands, and so that does make things rather difficult. Luca Varani's score that is going to be carried forward into this one is going to be a 27-point score, and Tony Jimenez can't score any lower than 23, so that is not going to change hands. And Noah Fowle's second worst score is just 12 points. That's worse than what Jimenez's worst score could be as well. So that looks like it's going to stay the same top 3. Scott Taylor looks like he's going to finish 4th as well. It's a mighty fight for 5th though. Mehmet Emiratachi is in 5th place at the moment, followed by Brad Fulliger, who is here, and he's currently in 5th place. We're just following him, in fact, through the chicane at the top of the hill. Eddie Amos is 10 points then further back. Then Robert Ridgway, 12 points back from 5th. 14 points back from 5th, Ludovic Ranson, and 24 points back, a little bit of a long shot, Dennis Cornu, who rounds out the top 10. So it is all very close for 5th, but unfortunately the championship battle for the overall title that we were hoping for maybe has gone away just a little bit. Tony Jimenez's win last week at Long Beach, to go with a 3rd place the week before and 3 weeks before that, has rather sealed him this title, it looks like, with a round to go, although helped by his closest rivals not being here. That always helps, and that will take the pressure off as long as he starts this race, which we're presuming that he will do.
Yeah, I was looking over this, and like you said, everything seems to be kind of settled out, which is, I think, probably why some of the people aren't here. One of the things that I did want to mention that I think, if I'm not mistaken, you and I are going to be doing it, is we've got a special event race next week on Saturday instead of Sunday, same time, I believe. Do you have the details on that? What track we're going to be running? I just know we have one. I'm not familiar with the setup that we're doing.
Not what track we're on, but yeah, you are correct. It is same time, but on Saturday. So don't be caught out by that. Coming same time next week and expecting a race, it will have already happened. Come back on Saturday, same time, for a Week 13 Super Formula Lights Team Cup. Now, I don't know which circuit it is on at the moment, but we will we'll try and find out and so on before the end of this. It may not be decided yet, but yes, we'll keep an eye on that and let you know. But as I say, Saturday next week, same time rather than Sunday, we will be on the court together, and we'll be there for the Team Cup. So.
And those kind of events are always just a barrel of fun, there's no pressure on anybody. They just, those are always so much fun to broadcast too, because kind of cut up and have fun, and it's fun to broadcast as well.
Yeah. So last time, I can only tell you how it worked last time, so I presume it worked something similar. In 2021 we had something similar where there were effectively, we sometimes do a World Cup where teams of 4 drivers are set up in their countries, if you like, to race up against one another. And this time around it's effectively teams. Last time out it was maximum 3 drivers per team, and DRS Wave Italy were the victors of that. But that of course was over 3 years ago, so many of the teams have changed. And by the way, the teams championship this season is pretty close. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, over 3 years ago. Crikey, over 4 years ago. Goodness me. Yes, Artendalia Red are currently leading the way in the teams championship, but only by 4 points. If you apply 2 drop rounds ahead of Twin Dragons Racing. That's Ewan and Annette and Noah Fowl, by the way, who are 1 and 2. Dorian Arroyo and Eddie Amos are in the second place team. And RRS Galactic Grid Gremlins, that's not get easier. It's third place for them. And also within 10 points, Arsteel Esports there as well, Tony Jimenez's team. So, yes, there's plenty to look forward to in the team standings, maybe even tonight, but certainly when we get to next week as well. But there's one more round of the regular season to go, so let's have a look at the starting grid with Johan Annette on the pole here tonight, part of that current leading team, by the way. Yunus Vimala alongside him with Thomas Rigien and Max Bartolotta on row 2. Brad Fulliger, who'll be fighting for 5th in the championship, is 5th in qualifying alongside the champion in waiting, Tony Jimenez. Ludovic Ranson and Stefan Dodderer are on row 4 ahead of Alexei Yukish, and Robert Ridgway, just over a second off of the pole. Simon Fessi and Jonathan Corarella are then on row 6. With Marcelo Caruso and Mehmet Emirtasi on row 7. Vincenzo Taormina and Dennis Cornu are next ahead of Marius Anderson and Andy Flint. Kevin Byland and Justin Fields round out the top 20 with Jack Willems and Patrick Williams. It seems like 2 different spellings of the same name. 11th row for them both. Scott Taylor and Jerry Boole are on row 12 ahead of Koji Ito and John McKenzie. And Win is 27th ahead of Adam Townsma, Dorian Arroyo, Jose Gill, Scott Haddock, and Donald Calcutt is at the back, but I'm not sure getting a time in. I'm not sure starting either. Is not on the grid yet anyway. Annette, as I say, is part of that leading team and very much flying the flag on his own here because Noah Fowl is not here at today's race, and they've only got a 4-point championship lead. So you get the feeling Annette might need to win, or at least do very well here in this race to make that team feel a little bit better going into the final standings, final team standings this season. Indeed, it is going to be 31 starters for this race, 30 laps for them as well from Imola in the final round of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League in Season 4 2025's regular season. We are underway here in Imola, and Annette gets off to a decent start. Amal immediately challenged by Thomas Rigien on the outside, who's got off to a pretty good start here. Side by side, in fact, they are in towards turn 1, late braking, and Yunus Amal stays in front, just in front of Rigien. And then it's Max Bartolotta with Brad Fulliger then in 5th place. Mostly positions staying the same. In fact, the top 12, the whole top 12, the same as they come out of the first chicane for the first time.
Yeah, they're off to a pretty clean start. Of course, they're kind of known for that in this league. They set up parameters where there's no passing for a certain amount of zones and corners, and so that lends itself to good race starts, which is, I think, a great idea when it comes to this league racing. I really do. Yeah,
I think so. It's helped us out here no end, because Imola is one of those places that can see trouble on occasion. Fulliger puts the pressure on Bartolotta there for 4th place, so they all come up the hill streaming. And trouble! trouble. Justin Fields and Kevin Barland off at the bottom of your screen. They're flying through the bottom of your screen. They must have hit each other before they hit the brakes there at Aqua Minerale, because that was high speed as they came off the circuit. Multiple drivers off here at the top of the hill. Yunus Amal seems to have disappeared completely from this race.
Yeah,
he is gone, and he's dropping down the field. So that is a big shame for Yunus Amal, who was up to second place on this start, and, well, keeping second place, I should say. And he is no longer there. Annette now has got a nearly 2-second lead at the end of lap 1.
Yeah, that was strange. I thought it was a wreck at first, but yeah, it was clearly a disconnect, because as soon as I clicked on him, he just disappeared completely off the screen. So that's so unfortunate, man. I hate seeing technical difficulties with equipment like that, or connections that cost people, a race. It's all right if you wreck on the track or whatever. That's that's its own thing. But just to have equipment issues cost you, especially when you're off such a great start like that.
Yeah, it's a real shame, and it looks like that was a very sudden disconnection as well. So it looks like Yunus Amal's not going to be returning, unfortunately, here today, which is a real shame. Amal will end up quite far down.
Somebody's in the wall back there.
Tozer, yeah, mate. I didn't. I was looking at the standings at the time, but a number of just a couple of issues on this opening of this race. But through the opening chicane, it was very clean. Maybe a benefit of that purple zone again. But since then, there's been a couple of things going on here. But close racing all the way up to the top of the hill here. And Bartolotta really close to Jimenez. Bartolotta spins as he's trying to overtake the champion. And the champion in waiting, he spins out of the chicane, and he's avoided by everybody. Oh, or is he? Did he get hit there at the very end? He might have got hit. He might have got avoided, but we'll have a look. There's the spin. Does everybody avoid him? Look at this, going either side of him. It's great avoidance initially. He moves. Does he get hit? He gets smacked into there. Not sure who by, but that will be damage for the both of them.
Man, and the sad part there is he really did everything right. It's so hard to sit there and watch the entire field go past you like that, but he did, and then he still ended up getting hit. That's so unfortunate. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, off. Loads of cars off at turn 1. Stefan Dodderer toes back to pit lane. Brad Fulliger's involved, and so is Jukic. Alexei Jukic involved as well. I mean, we've seen some drama now. I mean, we didn't get it through the first chicane. We've got it since then. There's been a lot going on here. Ridgway having a look now as he's attacked by Dennis Cornu. And Ridgway spun at Tozer. That was late from Cornu. And Ridgway might well be protesting about that one at the end of the day, because it was a relatively late move into the hairpin and he was shoved to the outside. Dennis Cornu moves up to 6th place, and in fairness to him, he's up 10 now, but Ridgway will argue those last few positions, or at least that last one, was made by shoveling him out the way.
Yeah, when we get a second here, I want to go back and look at that again.
What don't we want to have a look back at?
I know, right? So much. Oh, man, that's, yeesh. He just drove it right in there on him, didn't he? More time here.
Yeah, it looked like it. There's a small gap there. Let's see, going back a bit. He's on the gravel, so you can see why he thinks it's a long way back. He's a long way back.
Ridgway was already on the apex, touching the curb. I don't know about that one.
That is a very long way back to make a move from, unfortunately. But we'll see what is going to be done about that afterwards, as Corella actually is not that far behind Dennis Cornu here, and so he might well lose 6th place anyway here to his countryman Jonathan Corella in towards turn 1. Indeed does. So the change for 6th place, the highest group in the field, and Cornu's wide. Here comes Matteo Caruso. Around the outside. Marcelo Caruso, excuse me. On the outside, looking for a run, but can't get it. And here comes Tachi on the outside of the first part of the Villeneuve chicane. Could give him the inside at the second, but it doesn't this time. And he has to stay behind in 9th place. Tachi is another one of those drivers, by the way, who's made up places so far. Up 5 places as he tries to preserve 5th place in the championship here today, over the likes of Brad Fulliger and Robert Ridgway and Dennis Cornu. With a current top 10 finish, he'll be doing just that, but especially with Fulliger all the way down in 21st as he just overtakes Vincenzo Taormina. Here is that pass, in fact, from Fulliger. He's a long way back now, and so Tashi looking comfortable in the top 5 in the championship at the end of the season.
Yeah, I tell you what, we did start. We got more action going on here. Tashi just got into it as soon as we cut away from him. Let's
Got
see.
8-ball-2 with Caruso.
Oh, yeah. Let's see what happened here. May not be the best camera angle for this one.
Oh, he gets a big slide there, and they're all into each other. So, who was the first one to slide there? It must have been Caruso.
No,
and then Tashi
the
got
first
involved.
one was Caruso, then Tashi, and then somebody else got in there too. I'm not seeing who that was. Was it Rancon?
It could have been. He's about in the right place. And he would have skipped past it. No, he would have been around there.
Well, let's see.
Not sure.
Oh, no, he had his own incident there, separate incident. Oh, go. Okay. Well, I'll tell you.
It's me.
Yeah, this is Imola, though, man. I mean, it really is. It's so, it's chaotic, but, I mean, it's exciting, though. I mean, it's, and like I said, these cars.
Oh, no, more contact.
Man,
Scott Taylor off in the gravel this time.
Jinx. Every time I put a camera on somebody, they wreck. What's going on?
Yeah.
I'm killing them.
Some drivers protesting us at the end of the day.
They'd be like, I don't want to be on camera, please. Don't show me.
Yeah. Goodness me.
Yeah, this is Imola, though. I mean, it's tight enough racing, and it's just that it breeds this kind of action now. But this can seem a little bit aggressive today, doesn't it? Like, I guess maybe it's kind of in that, for the most part, everything's settled out, so we're going to drive a little wilder. I don't know.
Yeah, there may be some truth in that. There does seem to me as well sometimes. Oh, and another spin! Brad Fulliger, his second spin of the day. And he's going to be careful, but he gets himself out of the chicane.
He's really
back in the straight and narrow and back again. So there's another one to chalk up.
Well, no, that's twice I've done him. I did both times. Yes. He's really good. He's going to be sending me emails. Please don't show me on camera. Oh, why? Oh, wind's got to slow down. Okay. Saw something pop up there. I didn't. Sure.
Yeah, the yellow box next to the name. And this is all in the midfield. This is where Jerry Bull is, just in front of Scott Haddock, who, by the way, is up in 14th place, up 17 positions so far. That is a very good start indeed. And a lot of those positions, of course, gained by people who've fallen off the road. But nevertheless, he's stayed out of trouble and he's gained 17 places in just 5 laps to move up to 14th. And suddenly a top 10 looks on the cards for the American as well. So he's done a very good job of moving through the field and getting up into 14th position at the end of only 5 laps.
Yeah, speaking of Americans, we've got Andy Flint back this week. Good to see him. He's up 10 spots into 8th already. Again, probably due to people falling out as well.
Yeah, he's missed last week. Did Flint, and has missed a few races this season, but best finish of 5th so far this season. I wonder whether he could maybe repeat that or go better. He's currently 8th and only a few seconds off of the top 5, where Corella and Dennis Cornu are fighting at the moment. You can see Cornu right behind Corella at the moment, coming over the line to start another lap. A new fastest lap, personal best for Cornu, but he's not going to pass his compatriot on the way in towards turn 1 this time round. He will wait for another day. Haddock looking for another place on Jerry Bull as they go over the line. Very good run at the final corner from Haddock, and it looks like he's going to go through into 13th position. He does. So another gain, 18 places gained now for Scott Haddock, who was the only driver who started this race who didn't qualify and is now moving up into 13th place, knocking on the door of a top 10. Meantime, Simon Fessy is off the road as well. Think through here. You see the dust? There's the tyre tracks. There's Fessy. There's his stones anyway. That's not Fessy. He's a bit further up the road, but he's down to 10th place.
Oh, let's see what happened to Simone. Oh, yeah. He had actually, he had 2 separate little off-track incidents. So, yeah, there's that. I tell you what, I've been practicing Imola for a race that I was going to do Tuesday, and I cannot tell you how many times I went off track right there. and I've done that a few times too.
Spins into the second part of the Villeneuve chicane.
I don't get around this place well at all, man. I really don't. This is a tough track for me. It's maybe too technical for me. I don't know.
No, it's really hard. I mean, it's very, very technical. Full stop. in the world of motorsport, I think there are a few circuits that are more difficult than this one. As Dennis Cornu makes a pass on Carella, I get the feeling last lap he was sort of waiting, biding his time, but he's properly through now. Thomas Rigienne has lost second as well to Tony Jimenez, and that's a decisive pass as well, which suggests he might have gone off through the first chicane as well.
He did.
Nearly 3 seconds the gap up to Jimenez, and there is the gap suddenly. So this is what happened. Oh, wow, a more dramatic version of what Fessy did. Fessy only just went into the grass and got away with it, but very nearly snapped away from him completely there, Ridge.
That was actually the next curve past where Fessy went, wasn't it? Oh, no, you're right. That was that part where Fessy went in the grass. That's where he went off, yeah. I tell you what, this whole section through here, those two chicanes, this right-hander, this left-hander right here is extremely tough. And then you come through this section, which is all downhill, and you can miss your brake marker so easily right there, and it's pretty high speed through that corner. Not as tough in these cars as it is in the like GT cars, but I tell you what, this place is brutal.
Yeah, it is. It's very, very tricky indeed. In live pictures, we've got Dennis Cornu leading a 3-driver group now in front of Jonathan Carella and Ludovic Ranson coming up towards the start-finish line. And then another group just behind, 2 Americans, Andy Flint and Robert Ridgway. Ridgway recovering nicely to 7th maybe by the end of this straight. We'll see whether Carella also recovers a position here or whether he's going to wait behind. The games have begun here between these two. Flint there almost showing Ridgway the inside as if to say, go on past please, and Ridgway says no, and they continue run as they were. Somebody threw the gravel up in front. There's Ludovic Ranson, who's gone straight through the gravel as well. The first chicane has claimed another victim, and here comes Flint on the outside to try and take that place from him. He's going to struggle there, and he doesn't get through, but look at him into Tozer. He might have another go, and Ridgway just sits back and watches behind. Fessy and Willems will also catch the both of them as a result of this fight. It's all happening.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice little 5-way battle here if those guys up front keep battling like that with Ranson and Flint. You're going to see a nice little 5-way battle develop here mid-pack. Well, top 10, right? Not really mid-pack.
Yeah, it's these are proper top positions they're fighting for at the moment.
Yeah.
And normally in these races, because there's so few mistakes. I mean, it's a testament, I think, to how difficult this circuit is.
Agreed.
We very rarely see mistakes with frequency like we've seen so far tonight, but this is just a very, very tricky racetrack, even in the modern form, which is obviously not as fast as it used to be for good reason, but it is technical and it is difficult and very easy to fall off the side of the road. No tarmac runoff in most places around here, other than down the hill to Acqua Minerale, and even there's not too much before you can find the wall, as we saw earlier for Kevin Byland and somebody else who went off with him. On the opening lap, Byland has recovered quite nicely to 16th actually, as in towards turn 1 they all battle again. Flint able to hold on here as Ranson runs away from this group. He's under pressure, Flint, from his compatriot Ridgway, and then Fessy, who's recently joined this group, and Jack Willems right here as well in the multicoloured car at the back as well.
I'll tell you, Ridgway has recovered well, got spun. Luckily, I apparently didn't pick up any damage from that. I'm only assuming because doing so well at recovering. Yeah, nice drive by him.
Yeah, very nice. Through the top of the hill for Bertilla, and Fessy crawling all over the back of Ridgway here down the hill into Acqua Minerale. This is where the only runoff is, by the way, I was talking about. A little bit of grass there to prevent you from exceeding track limits, but you are saved by the tarmac if things go too badly wrong. Up over the top of the hill here there is a little bit as well, but we've seen plenty of issues through the Variante Alta before as well over the top of the hill here for turns 14 and 15. Ranson now no longer a part of this group. He's 1.2 seconds up the road, as you can see, but Ridgway is still right in there with Flint, who is now the head of this group. Down the hill they go into the Ravazzas 1 and 2. And out of the final turn, a little bit of gravel there. Fessy was quite close initially, but a little bit of gravel is going to hurt his run onto the front straight a little bit. And Ridgway will be closer to Flint than Ridgway is to being overtaken. Flint with no draft to help him, of course. Ridgway is going to stay behind again. Not sure why Ridgway wants to stay here, but he really doesn't want to pass Andy Flint.
No, I mean, he may be just comfortable riding right there, right for now, and because maybe he feels like if he jumps by him, then the same thing's going to happen to him, next lap around or something. Yeah, I don't know. That's maybe he does have a little damage and would struggle to get by him. I'm not sure. I'd be surprised, honestly, they didn't get a little damage because he got T-boned right on that rear wheel when he got hit.
Further up, by the way, Dennis Cornu is not that far behind Corella again. Those two are not quite in a battle in the same way that the big group are.
A minute ago, though, I was watching it really close. They were down to a tenth of a second at one point. I was about to click over to them, and they kind of pulled apart again. So yeah, they have gotten really close here in the last lap. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay,
yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as well as this battle here. I'm puzzled why we haven't seen more attempts at overtakes in this group, to be honest. But Fessy is probably the one who's been most aggressive so far and maybe fastest as well. He's just lost a tenth or two in the last couple of moments. This is John McKenzie versus Vincenzo Taormina for 14th position. Behind them is Kevin Byland, who's on a charge at the moment. He's up 3 on where he qualified, and don't forget he was pretty much last after lap 1 after he spun through Acca Minerale. Again, Ridgway waits behind Andy Flint. These two definitely have an agreement. We are still in the first half of the race, so it isn't too late for these kind of agreements, but I'm just puzzled as to what Ridgway actually gets out of this, what benefits him out of this group, staying behind the driver in front of him at the moment. But anyway, he's still sat there, and he's still behind Andy Flint willingly in 8th place.
Yeah, something's clearly he hasn't even made an attempt. So, for whatever reason, he's comfortable. That's what he's choosing to do, because he certainly could at least make a lunge in there to give it a try, and he hasn't. So, but we do have several of these battles that are within a half second of each other around the track going on. This is usually the part of the race where you kind of settle in for a few laps and just, turn the laps and do the things. But it's somebody, maybe Yukish. Let's see. I think Yukish just had an incident.
Wheel on the grass, and then spins through turn 3 at the exit of Tamburello, and that might be the end of his day. There you go. Yeah, I think that's the end of his day, unfortunately. Same goes, by the way, for Brad Fulliger, who's having a long stop at the moment. He seems to be out, as does Stefan Dodderer. Here we go, finally. Ridgway past Andy Flint, and that wasn't too hard in the end. So, again, not sure what Ridgway got out of that, following behind for a while, but maybe Andy Flint can show some of his speed now. He's got a bit of a draft up ahead of him from Robert Ridgway.
Yeah, I don't know. That was, like I said, it was relatively easy when it all went down and happened. Scott Taylor. Something happened to Scott Taylor just now, too, I believe. Well, there are incidents everywhere. I mean, it's calmed down, thank goodness. But what a hot mess it was earlier.
I can imagine there's a lot going on that screen at the moment. Oh, just wide on the grass. And
right. There's your runoff here you were talking about.
Just saves him a little bit. I mean, to be fair, the wall's quite far away from the track there anyway. But
I've hit it there, just so you know. It's not impossible. I've hit it there as well. I'm good at testing out the walls around tracks. I'm really good at that. But there's a reason I broadcast and I don't drive all the time.
You should contact iRacing to become a game tester.
Yeah, right. Test out
finding
your
places
damage.
they've never seen
I can
before.
test your damage models out for you. I've always wanted to co-commentate and let somebody else, or co-commentate and let somebody else broadcast and do it while I was driving.
Yeah.
I mean, it couldn't make me any worse. I'm already slow and I wreck a lot, so it should be okay.
Well, there goes Fessy down the inside of Andy Flint, who has lost 2 places in 2. Oh, no, he's not! Simon Fessy goes into a spin, and he might have found the wall as well. Coming through Tamburello. He was passing Andy Flint. He was going to be given the place by Flint, who wasn't willing to go side by side with him all the way through, and you can see why. But Fessy just gets on this curb and he slides and he spins, and he doesn't find the wall. If he did hit it, it was very, very light contact, so he'll get back going again. But Fessy spins and drops to 13th behind Anderson, who moves up another position. Scott Haddock is in the top 10 after starting 31st. What an extraordinary drive.
I know, right? I mean, there might have been a reason he didn't qualify and chose to start at the back based on what we've seen so far. And I have to say, considering what just happened to Fessy, to only be in 13th place, that's pretty impressive. Oh man, I'm
he's had 2 spins now.
Yeah, right. I'm almost hesitant to do this, but I hate showing people's grief. But here we go. Rancon.
Is this another spin for him over the top of the hill?
Yeah, just now.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, just happened.
Oh, careful.
Oh.
He did that last time as well.
Same. I mean, literally, I was almost identical to his last spin.
Yeah, that was same corner, same rejoin afterwards, nearly. And
just more cars this time. Moment. There was only 1 before, now there was 3 coming through there at the same time. As Fessy makes this move back on, getting by Anderson again, moving his way back up again.
Yeah, so back to 12. Fessy only qualified 11th, by the way, so he only needs 1 more position to get back to where he started. But he's been up and down like a bit of a yo-yo.
I'm not sure that's a consolation at this point.
No, not really.
No. Did I miss something right there as I clicked away? I thought I did.
No,
I guess not. Right. Okay. I thought I saw something in the background as I clicked away. Yeah, there's off tracks everywhere. I'm not gonna bounce around to all of them, but oh my gosh, man, it's I shouldn't be surprised though. This place is so hard.
Yeah.
And these are, like I said, these are good drivers. This is not a league where you see a lot of incidents.
So yeah, and as I say, I still think these cars are very well suited to this circuit as well. But in terms of their size and their speed, especially when you compare to Formula One, definitely. But even down to GT3 racing, to be honest, I still find it a little bit too big and cumbersome really for this circuit. But it's well suited to this circuit, this car, but it doesn't mean it's easy by any means. And Andy Flint seems to be experiencing that at the moment. He's not spinning, which is a positive compared to some of the others, but he is in trouble as far as positional overtakes go here, as Willems goes to the outside for 7th and he goes through. Tony Jimenez, meantime, is off through the first chicane. The champion in waiting. Oh, and Flint is now off the circuit. I've jinxed him now by saying he's not been off the road very often, and now he's gone off the road. Ranson goes through, and Scott Haddock gets another place.
He does. My goodness. So, all right, I will show the champion. And whoa, boy, he caught that curb and got a snap, didn't he? Wow.
Yeah, that's not a place we've found anybody today so far, I don't think.
What happened was he had his left side tires out there pretty far on the curbing, and he gassed it up, and it just snapped around on him. Look, boom, see? Or he might have actually even gotten into the grass or the AstroTurf right off the edge of the curbing, and when he gassed it up, it just shot around.
Yeah, I think that's probably what's gone on here.
I'm not going to say that I've done that as well, but I have.
We've all been there around here, that's for sure. Oh goodness, that was close. Ranson there, just in behind Jack Willems down into Ravazza, and Haddock is right in with these guys as well. You wonder whether that Scott Haddock could get up into 7th at the end of this. He's very close, and might well wait his turn. Oh, it's contact! Ranson hits Willems, and that is needless contact on the front straight. Race control are not going to be pleased with Ludovic Ranson and Zach Willems for that, because They had so much space. These cars have so much space on this circuit, especially on the front straight, and they needlessly hit each other there. And Ranson's taken himself out. He's down to 11th, and in fact, he doesn't have too much damage, it seems. Here comes Haddock, inside line, up to 7th place. 24 places gained in just 16 laps.
Called that. Wow. But now he's got to make up some time now to get to Ridgeway, but wow. Okay. All right. Now, obviously, we're going to go back and look at that again.
I mean, I can't understand what they were doing, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
There's so much. Look at the space they've got.
I don't know.
So, Willems gets, he's always going to be under pressure here because he's not got a great run out of Ravazza and he's not got a very big gap, but what is Ranson running so close to him for?
I'll tell you what, Haddock did a great job there avoiding that.
Yeah, he very nearly powered in there.
I mean, it happened right in front of him. But, yeah, why were they running? Why did he stay so close to him? It was almost like he was, I guess, trying to draft off of him and then just didn't get over far enough. That's giving him the benefit of the doubt, I don't.
That's weird. That is a weird one. Yeah, I can't. I don't know if I can explain that really.
No, I think that they're clearly going to have an issue there, and it did not look in any way, shape, or form that that he moved back over on him or anything like that. It was
no.
That was very strange.
Yeah, that was
I don't know.
Very strange indeed. But
well, I didn't do Ranson any favors, did it?
Nope.
He's still going though. That's
yeah, he is. He's with Fessy now in 11th. Yeah. Flint and Willems, by the way, are side by side as well. They're exchanging places again. So Andy Flint is taking places back, I think, here, and it's nice to see. Outside into Piratella, and he gets 8th. So yeah, he's back again. Is Andy Flint? He's back on it and back into 8th position in front of Patrick Williams as well. By the way, those two started on the same road. Did Willems and Williams?
This has been a nice 3 and up to 5 car battle. Throughout the whole race, really. I mean, these guys have really kind of moved up together with, and obviously with the exception of Haddock, who was just, moved on through, so to speak. But this has been a really good battle. What I wanted to do was steering wheel. See if he issues, because he did get his front suspension all up on their tires there when they came together. Pretty straight.
Yeah,
that's I mean, I am too, because these cars are relatively fragile when it comes to the open suspension areas. They can take a bump and whatnot, but they're pretty sensitive on the front end if you to any kind of contact and throwing the wheel off a little bit.
Yeah,
I have to say, this is my absolute favorite open wheel car to drive in all of. My gosh!
Oh, Fessy again.
Same spot.
He did that earlier. Yeah, he did that earlier again in the gravel.
That to me looked like a brake bias, and he touched the brake going through the turn. It looked like to me like he maybe thought he was carrying too much speed through there or something, and tapped the brake, and when he did, it just snapped around. That's
yeah, mate. Let's see. Yeah.
If you watch it, just
he's over the curb and then the grass.
Oh.
The double whammy, and.
But it didn't look like as much of a snap from that angle, did it? It just looked like a big curb. Yeah. Oh yeah, the curb got launched him. Yeah. Yeah. That's how
you do it.
Yeah, that is indeed how you do it. Oh, we got Jimenez just.
Yeah. Cornu. That's an incident for Cornu out the final corner there. He was with Corella, or not exactly with him, but he was close. But now Tony Jimenez goes straight back through. So 11 laps to go. Jimenez 11 laps away from another championship. And by the way, in the team's championship, which could have been a real interesting one tonight, with Jimenez's team only 9 points behind Johan Annet's team. Well, unfortunately, that's less of a deal now because Johan Annette has been leading this race. We haven't spoken about him, actually, but has been leading this race by a long way and is over 23 seconds out front, bringing that team a title at the end of the day if this continues.
Yeah, well, in fact, let's give him a little bit of airtime anyway. Okay.
Don't disconnect him.
Oh, I know, right? He did blink right there. Oh, no, I should. Yeah, he's probably like, get the camera off of me, please.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, get the camera off of me. Yeah, 24-second lead right now. Man, alive, that's impressive. What a great run he's had. But apparently, all three of the front three cars are on the same team.
There'll be. Well, yeah, according to RSDK, but there are only two driver teams. So they are part of the same racing team, as it were. I would suspect they're on different parts of that team.
So who is Johan Annette's partner? Do you have that information?
Noah Fowl, who's second in the championship, but not here tonight, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You only take the best score from each driver. So actually you only need one of your drivers, really. You only take the best score.
Well, when you got the guy leading the race by 24 seconds, that's usually a pretty good sign. So, again, I'm not trying to compound anybody's problems, but it's happened again. Oh, well, it was just off tracks there. Okay. No, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Okay. And then Patrick Williams had a little thing here.
Ooh, snap there. Does he properly spin?
Yeah.
It was coming, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The corner before, he saved a snap, and then the next one, he spins all the way around.
You know what's funny is every time I see somebody in one of these corners spinning, and of course I'm thinking to myself, well, I did that last night when I was practicing. But you know what? That just goes to tell you, man, every one of these corners around here has its own level of difficulty. And I was just thinking about what you have to do to get through that set of corners right there, you know. And, yeah, wow, man. This place really is tough. The more you think about it, the tougher it really is.
Yeah, every corner with its own variation of difficulty. Yeah. It's a variation on very difficult.
Yes.
Really.
Yes,
these
that's
corners.
Right.
Use a different adjective for each.
That is a very good description too.
for each corner.
This is about the only one that's not difficult, right there. The little kink in the straight.
these ones here are all right. If we can go. In fact, on the track map, it is called. I keep calling turn 1 turn 2 turn 1, but that bend in the straight there is actually called a corner. So anyway, there's an easy one. But then you get into Tamburello, of course. Robert Ridgway is less than a second behind Dennis Cornu now, and he's catching Cornu. Tony Jimenez seems to be just distancing Cornu enough at the moment. And in any case, by the way, you might be wondering, well, what would have happened if the other drivers' championship battlers were here tonight? Well, it wouldn't have actually made any difference with Jimenez running the way that he is. Even if both of the championship contenders, for example, were finishing first and second or something, Varani and Noah Fowl, Jimenez, even if pushed to 6th in that scenario, would still be doing enough for the championship. He only needed a top 7 tonight, and he's been doing that all night pretty comfortably. So he's certainly earned this, even though he's not got the rivals that he's had all season with him in this very final round of the season. Another show of consistency, I think, as far as the drivers' champion is concerned. Tony Jimenez won his first round of the season just last week at Long Beach, and that was a great show of consistency over the course of the 12 rounds, once again from a driver we know to be so consistent.
You and I call a lot of different series and a lot of different races. We broadcast all kinds of stuff. To win a championship in this league, there's a lot of good drivers that show up every week. Huge fields, a lot of talented drivers, and to be consistent, to stay out of trouble in these big fields. A lot of times when you get these size fields, there's incidents, and it's easy to get caught up in that kind of stuff. To win a championship in a league like this is really quite impressive.
Thanks to our in YouTube chat, by the way. It says for our information that Noah has a hand issue today, and so that's why he's not racing. I hope it's not too serious, and we can see him racing again very soon out there on the racetrack. Still going to end up with a second place championship season, I think, at the end of today. Maybe maybe third actually in the championship, but still a top 3 season for Noah Fowl, even though he's scored 0 in a couple of races this season. It's going to be very close actually, but I think Varani might well take second and Fowl might well take third. But yeah, hope he can be racing again very soon with us here in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League, which is got to the end of the 2025 season. This being season 4, of course, the new iRacing season coming up after next week's week 13, when we are still racing, by the way.
Yes,
just to remind you, we've got an F3 Team Cup at the end of 2025. It will be taking place the same time these broadcasts do, but on a Saturday, next Saturday, on the 13th of December. So make sure you join us for that. That's 9:30 UK time, 10:30 Central European time, and 4:30 Eastern time over in America, to give you all the translations. And that is the same time as when these broadcasts go live, of course, but on a Saturday. So make sure you join us again in 6 days' time for a Week 13 Team Cup. And by the way, the team championship this season has been very, very close. Johan Annette has rather put those discussions to bed very early tonight with a very comfortable lead. Don't want to say victory because he's still got another 6 laps to go. We know how this race has been going so far as incidents and accidents are concerned. This is Marius Anderson, who is just in behind Vincenzo Taormina. Simon Fessi is just in behind them, and again looking to re-overtake them. That's at least the second time he's had to re-overtake Marius Anderson.
Yes, at least. Maybe more than that even. I'm sure Fessi does not want me to have the camera on him anymore, for sure.
I think, we didn't catch all of his spins live, to be fair, but we got the last one.
No, we did not. We did. That's true, just the last one. But, Johan Annette's got 5 laps to go here. Whoa, somebody's off there. I wonder who that is.
Kevin Byland, I think, who's gone wide. He's a lap down now, as is Scott Taylor, who just gained 21st place as a result. And it might have been Dorian Arroyo as well. They were all quite close together down the back of the field.
I think Byland is who it was, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So down to 22nd for Kevin Byland, who was, by the way, the first driver to go off. I can't remember who he went off with now, but he went spearing off screen when we were looking on the opening lap through Acca Minerale, and then the incidents, the games really began in this race.
Yeah, that was kind of the start of the action at that point. Simone Fessi just had another off-track incident. But apparently
it just went a little bit wide there
wide,
in the background of shot through the final turn. It wasn't a spin or anything, but it's cost him time. At this stage in the race, he's not going to have very much time to regain, so he's got to be careful with this. And unfortunately, his lack of consistency around here has maybe just cost him.
Has anybody been consistent tonight, with the exception of maybe the top 3, or top 3? Because even Jimenez, we know, spun at one point. Because we were talking about that. I don't even. It's been. There's not many cars in this field that haven't had some level of incident tonight.
Yeah, no, I think you're right that it's only the top 3 who've avoided trouble tonight. And again, off Kevin Byland again through the Tamarello, and oh dear, big spin. No, that's Byland, sorry. Was it Jerry Poole who was the one who went straight on through the first part? Yeah. And then Byland spun exactly the same way as he did last time, and he's down to 23rd. He's the last running driver who is set to be classified this afternoon.
Yeah, they are. They don't even want me to have them in the background at this point.
No. I can understand that.
Right.
From their point of view.
It's been a bad. Usually they want camera time. Tonight, not so much.
Oh, steady, Cornu. He's just been overtaken by Ridgway, actually. He's back in the top 5. So Dennis Cornu pushing to try and stay with the American, but Robert Ridgway is up to the top 5. Can you believe it? Even after being hit by Cornu. It was Cornu earlier, wasn't it, into this corner? Who dived down the inside and is recovered from that to get back past him and back into the top 5.
Yeah, I called you old earlier when you were talking about 4 years ago, but you still got that young man's memory. You remembered the corner and the
I
person.
impressed myself for that one, to be honest. I'm not normally very good with that kind of thing, but on that occasion,
people have no idea how many notes broadcasters have to take to get this stuff done. It sounds like we know what's going on, right? Oh, there's another Bertilla incident. I didn't realize it was an incident. I don't want to. We've seen enough of. There's no sense in punishing that anymore.
Meatball flag, and he toes back to pit lane. That'll be the end of his season, down in 23rd position tonight, unfortunately, as Scott Haddock looks to take yet another place. He's on the course for gaining 25 positions if he can get to 6th. I think he's disappointingly just going to miss out on the top 5, but it looks like he's going to get past Cornu, who's going to defend into Tamburello. But what can he do here? Haddock on the outside line has got the speed, and he's got the line. Oh no, he's going to be squeezed. Cornu breaks late though, and here comes Haddock on the exit. He's going to take that better line through the final part of Tamburello. He might get alongside in time for Villeneuve. Is there time for a dive here? There just about is. No, he's going to back out. He's going to be central. And when he's 24 positions gained, not out, then he doesn't want to make a mistake here that would get him into a crash with Cornu. You get the feeling he wants to preserve all of those positions he's already gained.
What a run he's had today. He got up to the 7th position, which is so impressive. But he might not be done yet. We still got a couple of laps left, so. And he is right there. He's just I think going to do it as safe as possible. He's he didn't want to take a dive in there and risk it, but I think he's going to make a lunge somewhere before, or at least try a draft pass here somewhere along the way.
I think he's going to manage this in the last 3 laps. There's going to be 3 to go when they get to the line here. He's just going to put that pressure on further, as the sun's really coming down, by the way. It's a bit glaring in some areas now.
It is.
Look at this. Cornu weaving all over the place, almost hinting at a pit stop, which obviously he wouldn't be making in this series.
He did that last lap, too, and I was going to say something about that, and I didn't. But he did exactly now. He's got the good line here. Haddock's got by him pretty easily here now. He was on the right side of that. He did the exact same thing last lap, and I thought it was like he got confused or something for a second, but then he did it again. That's that whole fool me once thing, but I don't know that the guy's going to bite on it two times in a row and think you're going to pit. Plus, who's going to pit now?
Well, yeah, nobody makes pit stops in these races anyway, so it's very unlikely. But Haddock moving through into 6th position. Oh, off! Willems! Off!
Willems and Rancon.
Off into Tozer. That must have been contact between the two.
Yeah, they hit right as we got the camera on them. They hit. I did it again.
Don't want to take credit for that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. I mean, literally right as we came on camera, that's what happened.
I mean, Willems is defending the inside there, making it very clear what line he was going to take, and Rancon, I'm afraid. Well, you can see what he was trying to do, go from the outside to swooping to the inside. It would have been impressive, but unfortunately, it doesn't look so impressive when he just hit the guy.
No, he misjudged the distance there a little bit, I think,
He did. He very much did, unfortunately. By the way, I've just been looking through some of Scott Haddock's previous results this season, because I was wondering, well, obviously I haven't been here very much this season, sadly,
right.
but how often has he been doing this? Well, not often. I'll get back to that in a second. Tony Jimenez is coming through on the outside line here for a podium, and he spins. Oh, he wants to end his championship winning season with a podium, but he won't do with a spin like that. He drops behind Corella, and here comes Robert Ridgway on the back of the champion, looking to gain 4th position here.
Yeah, that was, it was a nice save, to be fair. He could have easily looped that thing right there. So that was a nice save with the thought of preserving this 4th place finish. Certainly would have lost that.
So just to get back to that for Haddock quickly, 6th place will be his best score of the season as Johan Annette takes the last lap of the race now. best result of the season, it would be 6th position for Haddock. He's had 2 8th places in the past. On those occasions where he finished 8th, he started 13th at Snetterton, and he started 11th at Circuit of the Americas. He starts inside the top 15 on both of his previous best performances. Now he is on the knocking on the door of a top 5 on the last lap of this race, having started 31st. The most extraordinary drive coming in the last round of the season from Scott Haddock.
Yeah, is it wrong that there's a part of me that just wants him to get that top 5? I'm not one way or another against, rooting against one or whatever, but just to see that drive he's had would be nice to see it culminate in a top 5. But
yeah, I want to see it as well. I'm going to be honest. He's not going to do it into Tamburello. He sets his personal best, though, which is 1.4 seconds quicker than Robert Ridgway last time round. But he is on his way all the way around the other side of the racetrack, though. More than half a lap in front of these guys. Johan Annette is, oh dear. He's having a bit of a moment with Tassi there, who's down in 17th at the moment. But into the final couple of corners, Johan Annette for the Artendelia Racing team is going to seal them a team's title, and he's going to seal himself a race victory here tonight at Imola. The final round of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League for Season 4 in 2025 goes to Johan Annette in one of the more comfortable drives you're ever likely to see. More than half a minute in front of Thomas Rigien, who I think is the only other driver tonight to have not had trouble finishing in 2nd position, but a long, long way behind the leader. What's going to happen here? The champion in waiting, Tony Jimenez, is still 4th in front of Robert Ridgway. Scott Haddock is in 6th place, only a few tenths of a second behind a top 5 finish after starting in 31st this afternoon. The most extraordinary drive is not going to result in a top 5 unless there's a mistake here from one of the 2 in front. Out of the final corner through Ravazza, and they hold serve. Tony Jimenez will come over the line to officially be crowned champion in Season 4 of 2025. Ridgway finishes just behind him, and Scott Haddock putting on one of the most extraordinary drives of the season to gain 25 places to 6th.
Wow, what a race that was, huh? So I right before the end of the race there, Cornu had this happen and dropped down. He lost several spots.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tozer again.
Yeah, and that one,
oh, that's not a good rejoin.
Oh, no, that was not the best rejoin ever. So, yeah, he, and I think he went off track after that trying to drive it home. I think it, obviously, I don't think it's going to handle too well after that incident, but, yeah. So, that cost him several spots. He ultimately finished in, follow Jimenez here. Let's see what he's going to do.
Some donuts, hopefully, at some point.
Hopefully, yeah. You would think so, right?
Down here, there's a good chance, but no. He's going to drive around, maybe to the
victory lap,
right.
you know.
Leads the victory lap around. Johan Annette's actually slowed down enough to lane past on this cool down lap as they come back round again to the front straight at the end of the season, end of Season 4 of 2025. Don't forget, again, we've got racing next week in week 13. The Super Formula Lights Team Cup on Saturday. Same time of these broadcasts, same place, of course, as well. We'll be here, myself and Jim, but it's on the Saturday, so don't be caught out by that. But regular season-wise, he is the champion. This is the Artendelia Racing team, who are doing a lap of honour as well, flying in formation like planes in the sky. They are running around on this cool-down lap in formation because, as a team, they have taken the team's title as well. With a victory for Annette, he put that out of the question from a long way away in this final race. Now, what is Jimenez going to do here? Is he going to finally do some donuts? It might be quite hard to do them in this car. There we go.
Shouldn't be. This thing's got plenty of power.
He looked like he was struggling for a moment, but there we go. Into the old chicane. Well, remember that from the 2000s?
If a lot of these guys don't run clutches, so it's a little harder to do a burnout without a clutch. I mean, it's not impossible, but of course everybody's going to do burnouts. They're just going to steal Tony's thunder.
There we go. There's nicer, more contained donuts there. A little bit less wild. But, yeah, end of the season, celebration, donuts at the end. It always happens in this series, to be fair, whether it's for the champion or indeed for the rest of them as well. They don't often have much fuel to do them, though, at the end, to be fair, so they do have to worry about that. But anyway, that is it from Imola. Jan Annette wins by 35 seconds in front of Thomas Rigien in the end, with Jonathan Carella probably the only other driver to not have trouble tonight, from what I can remember, finishing on the podium. Tony Jimenez did, though, but he does more than enough for the championship, finishing fourth tonight in front of Robert Ridgway. And Scott Haddock, who puts on the drive of the season, I'm willing to say, sixth position, 25 places gained here at this circuit. Andy Flint was the last driver within a minute of the win, with Patrick Williams, Vincenzo Taormina and Jack Willems rounding out the top 10. Marius Anderson ends in 11th. That is Simon Fessi, who had lots of trials and tribulations tonight. Dennis Cornu and Ludovic Ranson were close in behind him, with Koji Ito rounding out the top 15 in the end. 16th place went to and win with Mehmet Tachi a lap down in the end. We saw him go a lap down very late on indeed. Scott Taylor, Jerry Gould and Adam Townsend round out the top 20, with Joy Arroyo joining them one lap down. Kevin Byland was 2 down and will be the last driver classified. And the non-finishers, Max Bartolotta, Donald Cowcutt, Marcelo Caruso, Jose Gil, Don McKenzie, Alexei Yukic, Justin Fields, Brad Fulliger, Stefan Dodderer and Yunus Amal, who disconnected and indeed came into YouTube chat as well to watch on at the end. So not great for him. Only did 3/4 of the first lap, unfortunately, in this race here tonight. Well, that was a great way to send off the season, I think. 30 laps around here at Imola. You know, sometimes I fear racing around here or broadcasting racing around here because it won't be very exciting. But that was the opposite of not very exciting. A fantastic final race to the season.
Yeah, indeed. That was that was all kinds of exciting. We had action everywhere, all up and down the track, all over the place, the entire race. That was fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a great
brilliant
season. And I've been here for, if not most all of the season for sure. And, it's been a great season. A lot of fun. Really enjoyed this great racing in this league. It really is. It always has been. And it's always a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely, it is. And, we are very pleased to be back next Saturday for the final race of the... can we call this part of this season or part of the next one?
I think it's probably the fun race that ends this season is what I would say anyway.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So make sure you join us for that. We'll be live on Saturday for that same time as this broadcast. But as I mentioned, join us on Saturday, not Sunday, for that final broadcast of the iRacing season anyway, season 4 of 2025. Big thanks to everyone who's been tuned in tonight and indeed throughout the season as well. Tony Jimenez is your champion in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League for season 4 of 2025. I've been Ewan Lewis alongside Jim Cunningham for this final round of the season here from Imola. Until we see you for week 13 racing in 6 days' time, it's goodbye for now.